Hello, everyone. Monday morning.
Good morning.
The weather's turned, man.
Yeah, it has a little bit. It's a shame because we've had such a good run up until now.
Spoiled.
Yeah, we have been a little bit.
Now we're getting to that horrible sense of entitlement when it comes to the weather. We're being very British talking about the weather. So we're going to go into it.
Yeah, let's do that.
A few bits and pieces. If you didn't already know, it's going to be quite short today because there isn't that much to talk about. In gaming.
In gaming,
much to talk about in gaming.
With everything that's been going on.
With everything that's been going on. And if you didn't already know, I'm sure you're educating yourself and getting to know.
Yeah.
Here's hoping. So, otherwise, yeah, the biggest thing is in light of the Black Lives Matter movement, Call of Duty Warzone has pushed their Season 4 release. There's been no date as of yet. I think they're just waiting and they're going to wait and see.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Valorant dropped. That's out. That came out on Tuesday. Last Tuesday. Wow, that community.
Oh, really?
Jeez.
Oh, man.
I was called, I think someone called me autistic in the first 5 minutes of the match.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, how are you supposed to be good at a game?
The game hasn't been out a week and it's...
yeah, I mean, it was impressive. I mean, almost every game, someone said something. I mean, it's been a genuinely... most of the games I've played, I haven't played that many games. Well, I've played enough games.
Yeah.
You know, I'm new to this thing, and like I'm not a CS:GO master. I've played Overwatch, but it's interesting to see how quickly people get to that.
Yeah, I just wonder where it comes from. Like, what does give them the power to do that? But then I suppose they're just behind the screen. They could just
that's it. I mean, it was fascinating for I
the
just
whole
think,
keyboard warrior mentality. In a sense,
and
isn't it?
what's amazing is the insults that people come up with is fascinating. The idea of I would never think to call someone autistic.
No, that's just...
an insult.
Yeah,
but some kid, this was the first thing they thought of and was like, I'm going to put this on a public forum. It was very interesting. But yeah, so Valorant dropped. If you're interested, go for it. It's a team-based shooter. It's a beautiful artwork that I really, really enjoy the look of it. Just keep an eye out. Like I said, not all people are bad, but it's got a bit of a toxic vibe.
It's got a bit of an edge.
In my opinion. From my experience, but like I said, that doesn't speak for everybody. I'm sure people have had different experiences, so I will continue, I think, to play it and hopefully get better. But
yeah, you should, man. Definitely. I mean,
if you want to go for it, play it and see how you feel.
Yeah, don't let those guys
scare you off.
Yeah, those guys and girls scare you off. That ain't cool.
What is that whole thing of people going like, oh, if I play this, I want to be a pro?
Yeah,
like a job.
Well, that goes back into like what we were talking about last week a little bit.
And the idea of like, you know, people are getting deep now. You remember in the old days, people used to talk about. I'm diverging, but I'm totally digressing.
Go for it.
But in the old days, when you're playing a game, it was like, all right, what you need to do is you just keep your timings right. If it was you know, fighting games or whatever, keep your timings right. Practice. Get used to fighting. Now it's like, when I was playing Valorant, it was like, okay, what's your mouse sensitivity?
What?
And I'm like, yo, really? Like
your mouse sensitivity?
Yeah. So it was like, so I was like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, well, this is your mouse sensitivity. What would it be? So I googled it.
Right.
And I'm not the newest of PC players, like a couple years, but not back in. I was a console player for the better part.
Yeah, for the most part, right?
For the most part,
yeah.
Decades. And there was like, okay, if you play Overwatch and this is your sensitivity, if you divide that number by this number and you do this and you do that, then you'll get your sensitivity for Valorant. That's what this is. If you play Overwatch or you play...
That sounds incredibly
CSGO.
daunting.
Yeah, it's like, take this number that you have for your mouse sensitivity, divide it, times it, do some math. That's what your Valorant sensitivity is. You should be able to do a 180, sliding your mouse from left to right. You need to get into the dojo, basically, into the firing range. And people were offering, like on YouTube, it was like, if you want to be taken seriously in this game, and by taken seriously, I mean not called names. People were saying things like, you need to do 30 minutes before you even step into a game every day, practicing headshots, practicing like coming out of cover, wiggling, and keeping your spray pattern in. And it was intense, man. It really opened my eyes to that idea, and I kind of respect it. Because in one way I respect it, and the other way I'm like, oh wow, this is getting quite heavy.
Well, yeah, this is what I was going to say. I mean, it's nice that it kind of gives you a way to understand the science behind what you're doing and how to be a better player. It's almost like what we were talking about before with what do you call it on fighter games, with the data that you
the frame data.
The frame data,
in fighting games.
Yeah. So it's almost like they've kind of taken that kind of approach to it. So in a sense, you know, it's nice, but at the same time,
It could be overwhelming.
It can be overwhelming
because I don't like the idea of someone. I don't like the idea of someone coming in and going, I really like the look of this Valorant game.
Yeah.
And then going, wow, it could be considered overwhelming.
Yeah.
And then having a bad run with individuals from the community, and then being scared of the game because they're like, there's no room for me to improve in that. I can't be bad before I can be good.
Right. Oh, gosh.
And I was a bit nervous. That was the thing that came to my head. Is like, I'm not going to come into this game like I'm not from the CS:GO community. I'm not from the Overwatch community.
Yeah.
Is there room for someone to come into this game, not playing these games before, and being bad and carrying on, without getting lit up by angry people for letting the team down?
It does create that kind of pressure, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean the biggest thing people are going to say is like, oh, they need to toughen up and just crack on, which part of me agrees with. I mean, at the end of the day, these people cannot hurt you, so you need to.
No, exactly.
If you want to ignore it, voice chat, that's a mixed bag. Like if you're voice chatting with your team, that's a mixed bag. That's up to you. But again, maybe it comes down to you need to toughen up. But turning to someone, a kid. Or anyone going, if you're going to play this game, you need to toughen up. It just seems wild to me that's the evolution of video games.
It does seem crazy because that's like it's very real world in a sense. I can imagine. I don't know. You've got the older cousin talking to their younger cousin who may be getting a little bit just. I don't know, bullied at school or something. Not to get it too dark, but then the older cousin, the bigger cousin, is just like, you got to toughen up.
You need to toughen up.
You need to toughen up. So
hit
to be
back.
Hit back.
No.
So to take that and put it in the gaming sphere, just seems it's crazy to me. But at the same time, there are different sensitivities that we're dealing with from the from the giving and the receiving end, especially the receiving end. If you're just coming home from wherever and you just want to play a game, you just want to get into it, but then someone throws a slur or a bad comment at you or just fucking calls you autistic.
It's such a crazy, I found, and obviously there were other things that came into it that I don't want to say on the podcast, but I mean, it is shitty. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's one of those things. It's I don't like that. I don't play games for that reason. I don't play games to get stressed out like that. I mean, obviously games stress me out. But like, I do find like playing Apex, playing trios in Apex, playing trios or quads with friends in Warzone or whatever, Plunder. The experience is hilarious. And yes, like a friend of mine, he records the last 5 minutes. I showed you one of the videos.
You did.
That
was hilarious.
It's so funny. And so keep it up, watch this space, because I'm going to start recording this stuff and putting it up on the YouTube at tonesandthebiz. But the madness is like, no one gets mad. I mean, people get frustrated, and mostly at me, because I'm not the best out of the three of us.
Right.
I make mistakes and I'm always seems to be the furthest behind. I don't know why. And I'm getting told to keep my head in the game and get involved.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we're all individual characters, right? You've got Trickstar, who's like,
I need to ask you a question. I mean, I get the sense that that this whole thing is kind of putting do you feel like there's a pressure on you, basically? Do you feel like there's a bit of a
when I'm
pressure
playing
on
with
you?
friends?
Yeah. Well, either when you're playing with friends
generally.
or if you're just going out there playing with any old Tom, Dick, and Harry and Susan, whatever.
There's no pressure there's no pressure when you're playing with strangers. And I mean, so I play Apex on the PlayStation.
Right.
I know there's like a PC Master Race PlayStation divide.
Borg.
But between the Borgs and then the PlayStation consoles, I'll say us then, but I straddle the line.
Yeah.
I don't get pressure from Apex because there's no voice chat and there's just ping. And the ping system I find in Apex is perfect.
Right.
It says everything you need to say. It tells you exactly what's going on. There are some ping warriors out there that just they die and they just ping away and it's super annoying.
Right.
But I don't have a problem with that. There is a strange pressure.
I can feel it off you.
You've seen me play.
Yeah.
There is especially for me, because I'm definitely the weakest link of the trio.
Right.
And I got the two.
But
guys,
you're also the newest link as well, in a sense.
Well, we all started at the same time, but I stepped away for 3 seasons, right?
Right. So
yes, I mean technically, yeah. So I have an amazing time playing with one of my mates. Like, if I'm playing with one of them, anytime I get to play with my mates is an amazing time, basically. Whether it's duos or trios, but when it's trios, it's such a riot for me. It's so fun. But yeah, they're gonna hear this and they're gonna be like,
"Oh, mate,
I'm never gonna hear the end of it." I definitely get a pressure of playing with mates because I want to be good, and I hate it when it's like, if I die and one of them dies, chances are the other guy's gonna save us.
Yeah.
If I die and the other guy dies,
Yeah.
if Trick dies or if DJ dies, it's like, okay, one of us can save him. If DJ or Trick die, that's the end of the match. That's it. That's basically it.
They're gonna give you shit for this.
They're gonna give you shit for this. But no, the problem is I put pressure on myself because it's a game that I want to be good at.
Yeah.
I want to progress at, and that in a really positive way.
Yeah.
It's not a case of, I do talk to myself, and if you listen to the videos, I'm cussing hard.
Yeah.
If you watch the videos. But I only put pressure on myself. The guys are really forgiving, and like I said, it's one of those things that when you're playing with friends, you can make those mistakes. DJ makes he's famous for his like calls, his decisions. Yeah. That's always like, let's go and attack them and then we die, or let's move this way and we die. And
DJ, what are you doing, man?
It's like, and then, but it's always in good jest. It's always very, very funny. And I'll always agree because he's the guy that seems to get like 12 to 15 kills at a time.
Yeah. He's got that XP.
He's got that XP where Trick is funny because it's just, he's really, really good, but it always seems like he has no concept of what's going on. But it's just the dynamic works so well because I'm the one that's like, I'm just happy to be there.
Yeah.
And I do, I have some good rounds. I have more howlers than I do good rounds, but it's always fun and no one cusses me out. Certainly no one calls me names.
Well, that's what it should be, shouldn't it?
No,
and
and they get into it and it's funny and we just go, well, we died, let's try that again. And we jump into stupid situations. We jump into hard places. I think I'm more cautious, which is probably another reason. I need to find the fight because I'm only going to get better by being in the fight.
Yep.
But no, there is a pressure. I find there is more pressure for me being in a team of 3 that are more a higher level. Yeah. Because I want to be on that level. Yeah. But never would I feel. I don't feel pressure when I'm playing with strangers. Just because we're all in it together and it doesn't really matter. Valorant, when they call your names and stuff, I feel pressure from that, but not the good kind where it's like I need to perform. It's never like that. Warzone, we played quads the other day. Yeah. Did I show you the video, the guys?
No, you didn't.
So I bowed out early, and the 3 guys were going to carry on playing. Right. And
is this DJ Trick?
This is DJ Trick. I'm trying to say their names.
No, I'm putting them out there, man.
So it's DJ Trick and Watchdog who are all out there.
All right.
And they're in a
shout
Jeep.
outs.
Big love to the squad, yeah. And they're in this Jeep and they're driving along, and Trick turns around and goes, "This car sounds like it's gonna blow up." 10 to 15 seconds later, it goes up. No one knows why. It just explodes. I'll ask DJ if I can get this clip and I'll put it on the YouTube. Yeah. But basically, it explodes and they don't know why. And then it shows you the kill cam. Right. And basically, this guy's heard the car coming, thrown C4 in the street a second before, and taken the car out. And the guys are so shocked. They have absolutely no concept. Total squad wipe. It was amazing to watch. I'm so glad that they recorded it. So now, we're going to start doing these things. We're going to start a new concept soon. We were talking about it. Yeah. About how not to play these games.
Oh, I'm crying. Like, it sounds like this car's going to blow up.
And then it did. I'll show you the video. It's so funny.
Oh my god!
And then we all kind of agreed like this needs to be a thing. So I'm gonna put it on the YouTube, and we're gonna start recording our games, and you'll start getting to know the other players as well as us.
Hilarious.
And obviously we'll start recording season 5 of Street Fighter.
Season 5 of Street Fighter. Gonna have to dust off the old dojo stick for that one.
Dojo stick.
The dojo.
That sounds highly inappropriate.
It's fine. We'll run with it. But yeah, no, we'll get some records in for that. Be fun because as it is the last season of it.
I mean, even I'm gonna dust off Alex, the character, not myself.
That sounds highly.
I do not call my junk
highly
my own name. Yeah, that's inappropriate.
That's cool, man. We're 1 for 1 there.
Yeah, whatever you do, yeah. Could you imagine? No, don't imagine.
No. Let's not. Let's rate it in a bit.
So
Ooh.
yeah. Answer to your questions.
PG-13.
Sometimes I do, but most of the time I really enjoy hanging out with the guys, and I would love, I'd love to play games like Valorant, with mates. Like us in a squad. It doesn't matter win or lose. We will get better. We will have a laugh. It doesn't matter. It takes the pressure off. And then I don't enjoy playing those games when you know you're gonna get cussed out because you're performing, and it's intimidating as well. Even when your mates are, you're playing with your mates. When you are playing with your mates, when you die, they see your screen.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
They see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that can be really. That can rattle you.
It can be a bit daunting, a bit vexed in.
Yeah, I get sensitive.
Oh man,
a little sensitive.
Oh dude, I'm sorry.
I know, man. You know?
Chill, just
chill. Just
woosah it.
It literally is just a game. And then obviously we're gonna start. I want to start dabbling in the Hunt Showdown. Getting the guys involved in that, so that should be really fun. But
yeah, man,
I've just come to the decision when it comes to games like this, it's better to play with mates than on your own.
You think that's the formula?
I think that's the formula. If you're lucky enough, or if you have the ability to have a bunch of mates that you can play with, I find the experience is infinitely better than when you're playing with strangers.
That's fair.
Apex is different. Like I said, it's got a good ping system, so I do a bit of solo running with that, and I do solos on Warzone, but it's solos, right? So yeah. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand. I digressed heavy in this one.
That's cool. I mean, I felt like that was you know, we could wrap up now if we wanted to.
And that's the episode. Cheers, guys. Like and subscribe.
And remember to hit those comments. Yeah.
But that should be fun. I'm never going to hear the end of that now.
But what you were saying about the solo thing, actually, which this is actually a really good segue.
Okay.
Because
but on purpose.
I was at home a few days ago, just for a little while. Well, for a couple of days. And, I was having a chat with my brother, Ants. Shout out to Ants. And we were talking about the last podcast and how we were talking about online gaming with, with first-person shooters and battle royales and fighting games and, how you feel you want to be good at those games. Much like we were just, you were just saying, we were just talking about. But then Antoine said something interesting. He said, for him, it's not so much about the online sort of gaming, with all of the first person shooters and stuff like that, or even fighting games, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, yada yada yada. For him, it's all about the solo games, and he wants to.
Oh, the single player games.
The single player games. So, your action adventure RPGs, your it could be a racing game or just whatever single player game, right? But sure. he was saying that he almost feels the need, depending on what the game is, to be able to dominate that. It's just him in the world. It's just him on his ones, single player. He's got no one else to rely on but himself. But he wants to be almost like God tier at this game. And we kind of brought up Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah, which one? 4 or 3?
Well, I mean, I've only got reference to Devil May Cry 1 because that's the only one I've played. I mean, no, tell a lie, I did play 2, but I stopped playing.
Yeah, no one talks about 2. We don't need to talk about 2.
No.
Yeah,
but he's played all of them. But yeah, and we started talking about how the system works in Devil May Cry, in that you can build your weapons system, and you can build your combo system and build your move system and stuff like that, and it just makes you a bit of a powerhouse player, right? So by the time you're going towards the end,
right,
you're just armed for days, like you're a one-man army. And then almost in a sense it goes one step further by almost giving you the feeling of wanting to play the game again with all of your abilities.
Oh, well, a new game. You're doing a new game plus style thing.
Yeah, almost like that.
Right.
And it got me thinking back to the days when I played Devil May Cry, and that was something that I really enjoyed about it, was the fact that you could build on your experience, go back through again, use that experience to just lay waste. Yeah. And just really extend your combos and all your moves and stuff like that. And it was super fun for me. So it just got me thinking, like, what makes a game complete a solo game adventure, RPG, racing, whatever, and then go back for more.
Mm.
You know, whatever single player game it might be. I'm curious to
Talk about replayability value.
yeah, we're talking about replay value. Yeah,
Right.
we're talking
okay,
about
right,
replay
right,
value.
right.
What makes a player want to do that? And then it got me thinking about a couple of answers, but I wanted to talk to you about it to see, you know, what you thought and what your experiences were.
Sure.
So, you know, I asked myself, well, what does the game have to do for you for it to have replay value to you? Is it going to be collectibles, side missions and extra tasks? Or, you know, is it going to be going through the game again, just for the sheer fun of the gameplay?
Yeah.
You know, for the sheer accessibility of the gameplay. You know, you play it through once, it's like, really enjoyed that. I want to do that again.
Yeah.
You know, or is it going through just for the details in the storytelling? Because I know my reasons for going through games again, and I've been doing it since, you know, the days of beg your pardon, since the days of the NES. I remember when I first played Super Mario Brothers 1. And, you know, you could do that thing once you know, learned where the warp zones are and what goes where.
Yeah, you start doing like speed runs and stuff.
You start doing speed, and I was doing speed runs on Super Mario Brothers 1. So I remember the first time I clocked it, it took me forever. And then I just kept wanting to do it.
Once you know what to do.
Yeah, and my times got shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. But it was still fun. Like, for some reason, it was still fun.
Yeah, there are very few games that I play more than once. I'm definitely not a completionist by any standards.
No?
I just don't have the love for it. I mean, it's...
You don't have the love for it?
No, you know what? The perfect example is, I think it's Arkham City with the Riddler missions.
That's a good example, yeah.
I have no interest. Like, it's one of those things, it's... oh, you want to fight the Riddler? Oh, he's gone into that trapdoor in the ground, and if you want to fight him, you have to collect all of the Riddler trophies.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That seems a bit extra.
I'm not doing it.
Because I didn't want to do that. Because I felt as though, I mean, I'd completed the game.
Yeah.
Without
doing
that. Without trying to do that. And especially as it didn't seem like a necessity for me.
It's like an extra bit. I don't have a lot of tolerance for like what feels like filler.
We're going into that. Right, I see.
You're trying to stretch the game out now, and it feels like it. I don't have a lot of time. I played A Plague Tale: Innocence, right?
You did recently,
which by the way is fantastic.
Yeah, that's next on my vast list.
Amazing game, but there are collectibles in that.
Right,
and just the same, exactly the same thing with the Uncharted series, which you know I'm a huge fan of.
You are.
I don't do the collectibles. I don't do the treasure finding. People want to do it for the achievements, the little ding, and it says, you know, you're now a treasure hunter or whatever.
So did you never? Sorry to cut you off, but did you never do that with Uncharted? Then you weren't about the
no.
Really?
And I've played all of those Uncharted games at least 3 times each.
Well, that's what kind of hit me for a loop a little bit, because you brought me into Uncharted.
Yeah, I love it.
You know, and I love Uncharted. I think they're brilliant games. They're very cinematic, and they're just, you know, huge adventure games.
Yeah.
But the way you spoke about Uncharted to me, I always got that sense of, this guy's been in and out of this game bare times. You know what I mean? No, I mean, he's collected everything. He's got, you know, he's got all the guns, all the treasures, all the just everything.
No, I don't. I never collect. If I see it whilst I'm doing the thing, whilst I'm playing the game, I'll grab the treasure. Right. But I don't have. I've never gone to the thing where I'm like, right, I'm gonna go back through this game. Right. I'm gonna find every single treasure. I'm just not gonna do that.
Right.
I don't have any interest. I struggle as well. Like, I know myself well enough to know that it's like, I need to try and do everything whilst the story's happening. Yeah. I'm not one of those people that can then go, oh, I didn't do everything in the game, so I'm going to go back and do it again. Once the story ends and the credits roll, my brain goes, you're done. And that's why I'm struggling. Like, I struggle with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
You treat them like films, bro. I
treat them like movies. Yeah. Once I'm done, I'm done. And the problem with like Final Fantasy VII Remake is a perfect example. Is I'm going back and I'm mastering all the materia to get certain summons that I missed.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it, I am dragging my feet so much because I just I'm just like, I don't want to do this. I've done all this. I know what this is. I've got all the materials. I've mastered them all. But I didn't do that thing to get that summon.
Right.
So now I'm thinking, if I don't do it now,
Because that's exactly what I'm doing now.
yeah, exactly. But you have no problem doing it. Whereas, like, I'll sit there and go, oh, I'd rather play something else now because I'm kind of done. Where and it's the same with Uncharted. I've played the game, and The Last of Us Part 1. I've played The Last of Us Part 1 easily 4 times. I'm a big Naughty Dog fan, right?
Right.
And I will play those games, and I will get the headshots, and I will master the crafting in Last of Us. I will do it quickly. I will try and boss it on hard survivor, grounded mode. I'll play them in all the hardest difficulties and all the hardest settings.
So there is that sense of dominance for you, like dominating your one world in that sense. Like it's just you in that world, and
I'm doing it.
Because like you're saying, like you're mastering your weaponry, you're mastering this, you're mastering that, and you're going through on Grounded. Fuck, I haven't even done Grounded yet. Like, I've not had the time to do so.
But I do that because
obviously you've gotten so good at it that you can do that.
Yeah, I like think so. I don't do it well, but I can do it, and and I do that because I'm like it gives me a different experience.
How so?
Well, because if you're playing, you play. Let's use The Last of Us as an example.
Okay.
If you play it on easy mode, you can take your hits. There's bullets. There's this, that, and the third, right? And it's quite easy. It's not easy. Well, it's easy, right? It's easier to play.
Yeah.
Not story mode, easy mode.
Yeah.
And then you play hard, and you play grounded and survival, grounded, whatever they are, and the super, super hard mode. And then it's like, there are no bullets. There is, you get hit and you're dead, one and done. Like you need to use stealth, and I'm allowed, kick the door down, shoot everyone kind of style.
Yo, Sam.
Yeah, I love all that. It was funny. Ghost of Tsushima did that thing. It was like, you can be stealth, and I was like, oh. And then it's like, or you can declare your fight, and I'm like, here we go. All right, now, I'm gonna buy this game now. Yeah. But what's amazing is it forces you to adapt to the new world, the new normal, that new style of play. I can't run and gun anymore because I don't have the bullets.
Right.
So I need to, and I don't have the hearing thing anymore. In Last of Us, you press the button and you can listen and you can see where everyone is, kind of see an outline of where everyone is. That's gone.
So it means that you need to master your environment that much more, and you do need to be stealthy.
And it's a different experience. So then I'm playing the game in a very different way.
Yeah.
But I'm not interested in get all the achievements and how people like to completionist and platinum the game and get all the... Yeah. Like, I don't have that. I don't... Multiplayer games are the only thing where it's like, it doesn't end. You've got season 5 of Apex, and the levels will go up, and then you have that battle pass, you have this battle pass, Dead by Daylight, this, then it constantly changes. But there are very few games where I'll reinstall them and go over it again, unless there's like a sequel coming out, and I'm like, I really enjoyed that game, let me go back and do it again. Like that's why I played the Uncharted games, because every time a new one came out, I played the old one. Or the Uncharted, the series.
Is it just to get that sense, that feeling of, what it is to be in that game, what it is to experience that adventure?
To play the old ones.
So you play the old ones and prep for the new one.
Yeah, it's just so that it's kind of like brushing back up on the world.
Yeah.
So you can go into it, because I don't like it when people go, oh, did you see that thing that was crazy? And I'm like, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Perfect example, right? I love the Name of the Wind books.
Yeah, you've been telling me about those.
Patrick Rothfuss, right?
Yeah.
Name of the Wind, Wise Man's Fear. Awesome. Big books. They're like they're decent books. Then you don't sniff at them. I'm still waiting on that third one, bro.
Oh no. Boy.
Years, man.
Oh,
like my mate, so a friend of ours has declared complete war on Rothfuss now, because he's like,
really?
I don't know why I started this thing. He goes, because I got him into it, and he's like, why did you tell me the third one wasn't out? I wouldn't have read it if the third one wasn't out. And now he's like, I'm not doing it. I'm not even going to read the third one anymore, making me wait this long. I was like, he's probably just perfecting it. No, I'm done. But it's the same thing as like, when that third book, put that into the universe, comes out, I'm going to have to go back and read the first two.
Yeah.
To understand what is happening and remember and remind myself of the characters, remind myself of the world, remind myself of the laws of the book and of the world.
I couldn't do that with a book. Like with a book that's as big as that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So I kind of feel myself going, I do the same thing with games. If I want to, like the Mass Effect games, and Last of Us, and I recently did Last of Us again.
Yeah.
Uncharted. I go back because I want to play those games again. But again, I won't go back and go, you know what, this time I'm going to get all them treasures. This time I'm going to, do 1,000 backflips and get that achievement. Or, there's a cat stuck in the corner, and if you pet it, you get an achievement. No, I'm not doing that.
You're just not on it.
I'm not on it. Like, I just want to relive the experience.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 4, the same thing with all the weapons and the arms and the things in that. Once I find what works for me and I can do some damage. I'm not interested in carrying on and unlocking everything for the sake of having everything.
Really?
Nah, I just, once it's done, it's done. Jeremy Johns is a perfect example of someone that he goes, I platinum that, and I did this, and I completed that, and I got every achievement. I don't think I've ever played a game where I've got like the ultra rare.
No, I've never done that.
Super platinum thing. Like I don't have time to go through that.
Yeah, no, I've never done that thing with a game where I'm getting 100% of all the trophies and I'm just platining them, if that's a word, the heck out of it, for the very same reasons. But weirdly enough, I've got this thing in my head that says, if I do at least 50% of the trophies, 50, 60, I'm calm.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Because below that, I feel like I haven't really played it.
It's like with The Witcher, right? Witcher 3.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just like progression.
Yeah.
And it's like 60%. I'm like, yeah, I can finish on this.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I know I've put in some work. I put in a shift. I'm okay. I can put my feet up.
I didn't do all the underwater bits. And
no.
I didn't do those things. And I'm okay with that. I don't feel... You shouldn't feel pressured into playing the whole game. I say the whole game. That's not the way I mean. You shouldn't feel pressured into doing every single bit of every single game if it's not, if you don't have the time or the ability to do so. Enjoy it to the maximum of what you can. Finish the game. Do what you can.
Yeah.
But if you're going to spend another 3 weeks,
yeah,
going back and doing those things, going back and doing the treasures and stuff, unless if that's what you want to do, then go for it.
Yeah, which is.
But you shouldn't feel. Yeah, you shouldn't feel obliged to go back. I certainly don't. I mean, it's God of War's a perfect example as well. I did the Valkyries.
Oh wait, oh gosh, those were the best things about the game. I mean, it's weird because I wouldn't let myself finish that game until I'd done all the Valkyries first.
But then the same thing as me. I finished the game and then went back. And this is where it gets strange for me because I did it reluctantly because everyone was talking about it, and I was like, I kind of did the first however many, and I was like, and then I finished.
I couldn't let those Valkyries go.
Exactly.
Like, no.
Right.
I'm gonna better you in it.
and even a mate of mine who we speak about him often, doesn't play a lot of games, play God of War. He was like, yeah, I beat the Valkyries. I'm like, oh no, I have to beat the Valkyries. Like, I got to go back. So I did that, but very rarely. Once a game's done.
Yeah,
it's a good way of putting it. I treat them like movies. Like once the credits roll, unless there's a really, really strong reason to go back and play it again, or I had such an incredible experience, that I would love to go back. The reason that Final Fantasy VII makes me go back is because when the next thing comes out when I'm 50, I will be prepared and I will have everything, because I don't want to be like that guy that's like, oh man, I used Bahamut. I didn't know Bahamut because I didn't do that one. So I don't want to do that.
I've just got Bahamut, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but that's my thing. I don't want to be that. Like, if there's another version where you're carrying your save across, or it was such an incredible experience, I'll go back and play it again. Yeah. But I still don't think I would go out of my way and find every treasure, or it doesn't impact me in that way,
Yeah, no, I hear that. I understand that. I mean, do
you have a game that you, back in day, not Final Fantasy, but
well, back in day, I mean,
is there like a game you've played where you're like, I want to do every single thing? It's like, for example, Spider-Man was a big one for me. PlayStation 4 Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was huge, but here's the funny thing about that game. That game made it easy for you to do. Not to say that the game was easy, but it made it easy somehow for you to be able to do everything if you wanted to inside of, before you got to the end of the game.
Yeah, because it put everything on the map. Yeah, once you find those like remote towers, right?
Yeah, and once you got your web slinging down to a T, you can just zip everywhere, and it wasn't a problem. I like that about it. It was super rapid and it was super fun.
Once the stories ended though, and you did the DLCs of Spider-Man, Didn't you feel like it got to a point where it felt a little repetitive?
A little bit, yeah.
Like that you catch the cars the same. I mean, I don't know how else you're supposed to do this. Don't get me wrong. I know that you can only do it so many ways, right? You catch the cars the same way. You go to the same kill, beat Fisk's men, beat there, go there, beat that, go there. Like there are 6 bad guys here. There are 10 there. Six here. It's like defeat the thugs. Days Gone is another one where it's like bandit camps.
I've not done that yet. Yeah.
Bandit camps, and it's there everywhere. And it's like that for me. Once I've done it 6 times, I don't want to do it another 10.
You're over it
to get the I don't want to do it another 10 times to get the achievement or something like that. Unless they go, oh, if you do all of them, you get some like stupid mega motorcycle or like a crazy weapon that makes the whole game really easy. I won't, because I'm just like, I've done this 10 times now. I don't really want to do it again. Which is, I think, just repetitiveness.
I mean, I had
time.
I mean, to throw another game in there, Horizon Zero Dawn was a really good one for me.
Great game.
Awesome game. If you guys haven't played that by now, just please do. Like,
I think everyone we know did.
Yeah. Well, there are a couple that I know that haven't yet, but I'll give them time.
Yeah, go on.
But again, it was, it's an open world game. It's very immersive. You've got a very nice weapons system there. But I did the thing of, I got as much as I could, but I didn't really break myself to try and get everything. But I completed the game. But then I went back because I knew that you could bolster your weapons some more and get new abilities.
Yeah.
And once I'd gotten those, I was having fun with it all over again. I was just going through laying waste to metal everywhere.
Yes.
And then getting the super suit as well, which was a nice one for me.
The batteries and all that. Yeah,
exactly.
I don't remember if I did that.
Oh man, it's super useful. It's really, really useful. But yeah, I just had fun doing it. I had fun coming up with new ways of snaring an opponent or killing an opponent. And it kind of
that's cool.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back into that Devil May Cry thing as well. Where you just kind of bolster your experience, you bolster your skill set and your combos and stuff like that to create. It's almost like you are recreating your experience or creating a new experience inside of an old one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do find with Horizon there is a thing where you naturally feel like you're progressing and you're getting better.
It was very good at that.
Like you got to a point where you're like, I know how to take that creature down in the fastest possible way.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know how to take the Thunderhawks or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Like down, and you
and it's so gratifying when you do that.
Yeah. But that came with practice and skill and time, and that was very clever in the way that it made you want to stay in its world.
Yeah. It's a very unique game.
But that doesn't feel repetitive. Like, perfectly. Another example is, did you do all the Gwent stuff in Witcher?
You got my Achilles heel there. You know that.
You know what I mean?
You know that.
But I
couldn't stand Gwent. Sorry guys. If you love it, fine. I couldn't get on board with it because I just felt as though I don't need to do this, and I'm just bad at it.
But then we're saying it's part of the game, and
but was it though?
Yeah, 100%. And then
it's its own thing now.
Now, but back then when it came out, was it a case of if a completionist was like, I cannot stand Gwent, they're still going to play it to get it done?
We know someone that's done that. Do we know someone that's done? Yes, we do. Yeah, of course we do. Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's a weapon. Like,
shout outs.
Yeah. Hi, Jen.
Hey.
Yeah, but she's a weapon. She's completed. Every time I lent her a game, she sent around and go, I completed 100% easy. I'm like, what?
How did she, I just don't understand how she
And it's amazing. She goes, did you do that thing? I was like, that's a thing?
That's a thing. I didn't know that was there.
She's like, yeah, no, I did that course.
What part of the game?
But that's a different example. Like, she came world champ and got every card available and beat everything at the whole game.
That's insane.
Same with like Red Dead, 100%. Same with Horizon, 100%. Did the batteries, did the whole thing.
Yeah.
That is, I'll have to ask her, but I think that's a thing where...
Just get her on.
Yeah. That's a thing where I'd like to think that she plays that style and she plays that way because it's a great escape, or she takes great pride in going, well, they did all this, so I'm going to do all that.
I see. So it comes from a very appreciative sort of, well, you've put the work in for me, let me put the work in for you.
Yeah, or either that, or it's like, no, I'm doing it all. I'm gonna do it all because then I beat it.
There is that kind of gusto there. That's like,
man.
I've dominated this game.
Yeah, this game is my bitch,
Yeah.
and I'm done. I've never, like I said, I'm not that style. I like the game. I like the games that challenge me.
Right.
And I like on a kind of skill level.
Mm-hmm.
And games that like wow me, shock me, awe me in terms of its world building or its storytelling.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm not super into it. Even with like fighting games and stuff, when people are like, every game now has like dailies and things like that.
It kind of brings me on to another question, but carry on.
No, go.
No, well, I was going to say to you, well, like it or not, replay value in games has been a thing for quite a long time, in a sense. Like, if you wanted to do it, you can. If you don't want to, you don't want to.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know anybody in my friend circle that has played Super Mario Brothers 1 on the NES as much as I did back in the day.
Oh, man, I can't even remember.
So I feel as though, in a sense, it was, before the time whereby the internet became such a massive thing and invited the culture of DLCs, of trophies, collectibles and all that jazz. Longevity, replayability rather, for me felt a lot more organic. Like if I wanted to go into a game and just find some other warp zones, or get some extra chaos emeralds so I can do the supersonic thing, or run through a game with like a cheat mode or whatever and do a debug mode and discover other things, I could do that without feeling the pressure to it or whatever. It was just organic that way.
Yeah.
But do we think that we've approached a time whereby, in a way, it's almost forced a little bit? Is it less organic than it was, or?
I think people just have to keep trying to find ways to make games fresh. There's always going to be an evolution with game development,
right?
And I feel like with people get used to things a lot faster than they used to now.
You think so?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that finding different ways to make people come back to their products, they have to get creative. And if that's with free to play multiplayer games, it seems to be my jam right now. It's daily rewards or leveling up. If it's a single player game, it's difficulties, or treasures, collectibles, manuscripts, little pieces of the story that maybe they couldn't fit into the game, so they put them in like text documents that can be found around the map, so you can get a broader view of the game and the world the game is set in.
I mean, Horizon was good for doing that.
Yeah.
Well,
But like those things are, if you want to know more about the game, then you can collect these things and find out for yourself.
Yeah.
That's just one way someone does it. Difficulties is another one. New Game Plus, you have it, finishing a game and starting again with everything you have when you finish the game.
Right.
And the I tried The Witcher 3 with that, and that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was tough. It forces you to play differently, and that's what I loved about it. So I think with people trying to make games fresh and new in a second run through, it's just naturally evolved. And I think that I don't think it's necessarily, cause it's not an arcade world anymore.
No, it's not.
Do you know what I mean? Like back in the day, it was about beating your score, getting further, getting further in the game, because you only had
racing your ghost in Mario Kart just so you knew you could
get
that,
you only had so many 50p's, man.
Yeah, it's true.
And like it was like, how far can I get on £6? Now it's like
in those days
you can't do that anymore because you have infinite you have infinite tries. Arcades unfortunately aren't really about.
No.
So they change it, and you need to find ways to make people want to play your games again.
That's true.
That
makes complete sense.
Did I walk away from the question a little bit there?
No, not at all.
Yes.
I mean, it's a win. It's like you say. The arcade culture is just pretty much non-existent, unless you go to those few places dotted around London that has the retro machines. But for the most part, the arcade culture is in your living room now.
Yeah,
And
that's
in
it.
order for you to, that environment is in your living room. How can we keep it fresh for you on your sofa?
Yeah, but it kills. I mean,
know?
the problem with that back in the the great thing back in the day when you were, for example, fighting games. I lived overseas for a while. I lived in Asia for a little while.
Yeah.
And the arcade scene 10 years ago,
Man.
15 to 10, 12 years ago,
Yeah.
in somewhere like Singapore,
Yeah.
was amazing.
Really.
You had kids that would spend hundreds of dollars on King of Fighters and Street Fighter, and it was back in the day when the arcade machines were back to back.
Yep.
So if you were playing and someone else on the other side hit it, they challenge you.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like Winner Stays On, King of the Hill.
And you got crowds, man.
You got crowds, and it was big, and it was amazing because there's people I still know that you met in the arcade.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that that's been taken away now, because you don't really... You beat someone. I mean, not every time, but you beat someone and you win or lose a good game. You shake their hand.
Yeah.
You have a laugh. Some people you chat with. How did you do that?
Some people you give a little side eye. Like, I'm gonna get you.
Next time.
Yeah.
Don't just walk off, innit? But it's that thing of like, how did you do this? How did you do that? And they showed you, and you kind of got better that way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It did build. There was a strong community then.
There was a social element. There was a social element.
That's the better way of putting it.
Which I just don't think outside of the major game expos now, like Evo and the tournaments that happen, where they get vicious. There's not really a kind of. I'm sure there is on a small scale, but not like a almost kind of. What's the word I'm trying to come up with? Like on a bigger scale, where it was just like. You went to the arcade and you played and you met all your mates and you did that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember those days here when when Namco Wonder Park was here.
Oh man, remember Trocadero?
Don't break my heart, man. You can break my heart.
Sega World,
bro.
Yeah.
Like those were good days.
They were great.
I sometimes I would skip what I had to do that day, and
when your mum told you to go and buy some bread and come back with change.
Basically, yeah. Sorry, mum. And I'd hit up Sega World or Namco Wonder Park, and I'd be down there playing, X-Men versus Street Fighter, or Marvel versus Capcom, or
MVC2.
MVC2. And there were, like you say, there were people down there that you met, that you saw regularly on a Saturday evening, Sunday, all day.
You get that.
And it was a fun time.
Oh, what time is it? 6. I gotta go home.
Dinner's ready, innit?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You didn't have phones back then.
Nah. Well, not as advanced as we're.
Not well, yeah. I mean, I don't.
Were there?
No, I kind of did. I did.
Yeah.
You get the prank call, and now you're in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. The phone rings once.
Yeah.
Was it missing call?
Yeah.
Oh, what's it called? Missed call.
Missed call.
Mum.
You check the number. It's like, oh shit, that was home.
Yikes. We were talking about that the other day when it's like, the equivalent of, your mum standing on the front step going, "Time to come in."
Yep.
Oh, sorry, boys, gotta go.
Mum, she did the right thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Big love.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think that went well.
Yeah, no, that was cool, man.
That was a good one. But you know what time it is?
Oh, what time is it?
You know what time it is?
Oh, wait, is that music I hear?
That's that music you hear.
Are the lampshades coming down?
The lampshades coming down. It's like a set on stage. You know, it all comes, the walls come in and it's
the curtains are closing.
It's like, yeah, it's beautiful, man.
Oh, yeah, it's that time for the jazz.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
You know how Stella's behind the bar tonight.
Oh, yeah, she behind the bar.
Yeah, Stella. And then you got Big John at the end there.
Big John, what you saying?
He's all right. He's working hard today. He's on the bar with him.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking good, man.
Okay, yeah. It's feeling good.
Yeah, it's looking good. So who's coming in today?
I'll tell you who's coming in today.
Oh, you got one already?
Yeah,
oh my god.
So everybody's chilled out.
Okay.
Yeah. Door swings open now.
I'm not gonna like this, am I?
Bomberman rocks.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is that because I talked to you about it earlier?
Probably. Bomberman rocks up. He's had a hard day at it.
Yeah.
He's just been out there trying to blow up walls. He's just bringing down
touchy.
He's bringing down boundaries.
Touchy.
He's bringing down boundaries. Yeah. So what's he gonna drink at the end of a day like that?
Something explosive.
So, ooh,
Hear that?
I see what you
see
did there.
that?
I see what you did there. Fam. Yeah.
That's a good one.
He walks on a knife edge.
Well, he's
every
tough
single-
because he deals with, explosives.
Yeah.
He's tough. He deals
Yeah.
with some serious hardware.
He could go up
Ordnance.
any second.
Ordnance.
Yeah.
So, but then again, he looks nice. You know what I mean? He got the pink gloves.
Yeah.
So something with a little. It's got to be something with an edge.
Yeah. What are we saying? What's he gonna? What's he gonna ask our Stella?
Jaeger bomb, fam.
Wow.
Jaeger bomb.
Straight out there.
I said it.
That's it.
Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bomb, yeah. Just hard, like
Hard.
no mixer. Just. That's awesome.
Jaeger bomb. That's it. I'm done. I'm sticking with that.
That's fantastic. Oh my god. That's cool. Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bomb.
Jaeger bomb.
I
It
think
is,
that's
mate.
right. Just hard and fast.
Wow. Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that.
I'm gonna rein it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear that.
As always, guys, thank you so much for listening and
Guys, that
enjoying
was
this journey
cool
with
of
us.
you. Thank you.
Yes, like I said, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter at Tones and the Biz, we're on YouTube now, Tones and the Biz. We'll be uploading our podcast onto there as well as some other madness from other games as the time goes on.
Certainly will.
Keep in touch, man. Let us know if you want anyone in the barcade.
Mm-hmm. Give us some suggestions.
Yeah, we're more than happy to have a crack at it. But thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you very, very much, guys. And yeah, just hit up those comment sections. Keep it classy.
Keep it classy, no disrespect allowed.
And
Subscribe.
subscribe.
You again. Later.
Peace.